Good evening, professor. Good evening, class. Today I'm going to upload the second video of the class for writing an implementation plan for your DMS project. I have the rubrics here: introduction, email diagram, architecture pattern, activity diagram, coding strategy. So I have created slides for this assignment, implementation plan slides. Let's see. So this is the table of content. We have introduction, UML diagram, architecture pattern, activity diagram, and finally coding strategy. For introduction, the scope. Let's start with the scope. So we have the 5 stages, which we are right now write a plan, and we are in the second part, which is implementation plan. At this point, we are still the beginning, but we're going to start reviewing more in-depth concept of the plan. So let's start with the recap and requirements and what is going to be built. We have the functional requirements, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's the same requirements from the past project, of course. Create, search, remove, update, identity hero ID, display, save hero, and this is the custom, which is generate a report based on win rate. The non-functional requirements, so this is based on a gaming computer. As mentioned, this is like what we guarantee if it's a gaming computer to have a response within 5 seconds, room 256 megabytes of memory, storage of more than 100 heroes, easy use, training time less than an hour, reliability, ability more than 8%, robustness, recover from crash within less than 2 minutes, and portability, Windows 11, Java SQL. Of course, since it's a super powerful computer, it will be better than this. Also, we'll recap the data storage. So we have four phases, which is logic data validation, testing, GUI database, and actually database come for the phase 4. And also for the user interface design, as mentioned, I want to have a hover over buttons in the database, so colors that are from Marvel Rivals, and this is something I was imagining for the user interface. Now, UML diagram for phase 1. So for the validation portion, I have created this UML diagram. Actually, this is public, so we should be able to see it. It's pretty similar to the first project. However, this is more big since now we have methods for the data access for the database, meaning we have methods which it will contain information for the database, and then we also include this makes additional methods in the public class navigation menu. This part is for the console base, this is for the data access for future uses. However, here in the slides, I have included a screenshot for the verification. Is with URL can be worked too. For architecture pattern, so after reviewing the architecture pattern available on the book, I identified doing the layered pattern since it starts with basics and then it goes scaling little by little, which is what we are doing in this case, like starting with the console to later on add the GUI, finally add the database. So that will go like by phases. In this case, this is a screenshot I took from the Software Engineering Third Edition book, the Ian Somerville, page 178. Actually, um, it's really relates to what I am doing as a project as user interface. My Arrival app. This is the main. We'll initiate the program. We'll open the navigation menu and display. Then in phase 1, there's no authentication yet here, but in the core business logic, you will have like the functions or the functionalities as I named them. To finally system support, which is repository for interface, and SQLite hero repository. For activity diagram, so as request is phase diagram. So I start with logical data validation. So at this point we don't have database nor GUI, so it's just console based. We just use store data and text CSV file. So we welcome the user, we print instructions, so it will print the multi-option selection recruit plus method. So it will read the input user and then verify correct input in the logic if correct or not. If it's not, what's our error? Throw an error. And if it's yes, proceed with the option. And then after finality, select exit. When you select exit, the data will be saved on selection location. And this is the data part. So for phase two, for testing, we gotta check the functionality as per required features established per customer request. Also, we have to here identify possible bugs and fixing them. And also, if we are missing some kind of functionality, this is the moment to add those. We start with use test cases, then root the root command and the custom methods, and then add missing functionality, which is check if it's like correct and then fix bugs, and then missing function, yes, so add it, and then after use functionality, select just exit. At this point, also note that there is no database or GUI. The layer 3 GUI will be for actually printing the GUI using Java, and then check that the program never crashes. So we start with implementing Java objects. We have to try like using click and hover over, double click. Of course, use the CRUD and the custom methods. Try everything to crash a program in logic and verify program still running without issues. If no, well, you gotta fix the GUI. If yes, well, test the input output and if the file is being printed on GUI correctly. This part there is no database. However, the last phase, this phase 4 database, we're going to actually integrate the database. So here we open the program, point to Heroes database, use type to login if possible, also database location, read input from user, from the logic, verify correct functionality using GUI and SQL, so if it's actually correctly integrated, and then verify if CRUD and custom method actually works. After use functionality, select exit and check if the implemented interface actually is like being updated, and then you can complete the database integration. For the coding strategy, of course, naming is very important. I am very particular with the names. I just go with capital letter, lowercase, like these examples. For formatting, I learned from the last project. We just be more specific as possible. For phase one, I am going to comment the codes what is supposed to be doing. For phase two, I wanna document test results using the testing plan as we did on SDLC project part one. For phase three, um, I wanna code beforehand the logic for the clickable buttons and hover over image, and the phase four, since as previously showed, the UML implementation a portion have been pre-made, so now I have an idea of what to work on phase 4. And that was my presentation for this unit. um Hope you have a nice day, and all thank you for this project. Is really getting structure now. I'm very happy to be part of it.